Right Reverend Dr. Faith Emmanuel Benson Idahosa II, popularly known as Bishop Feb, is a prominent minister of the gospel, professional educator, and a reputable entrepreneur. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Biology and a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration from Oral Roberts University, Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA. He also has a master's degree in public health and a doctoral degree in educational leadership from the same institution. Bishop Dr. Feb Idahosa has been the president of Benson Idahosa University since April 15, 1998, and his active work and hands-on experience in the educational sector spans over 20 years. He is the proprietor of Nathan American Academy, proprietor of the Benson Idahosa School of Basic and Applied Studies, the vice president of the All Nations for Christ Bible Institute International, and a member of the board of trustees for Oral Roberts University. Outside of the field of education, he sits on the board of Pathfinders Justice Initiative and the board of the International Communion of Charismatic Churches, and is a member of the Edo National Association, USA. He is the president of Big Ben's Children Hospital, vice president of Faith Mediplex Group of Hospitals, vice president of the Archbishop Idahosa Foundation, and Idahosa World Outreach. As an entrepreneur and businessman, Bishop Feb is the chairman of the Above Only Group, Peer Systems Development Company, DFI Nigeria, DFI USA, Rejuvenate Media, and Benson Idahosa Property Development Company. As a minister of the gospel, he is the overseer of Church of God Mission International, CGMI, and is the bishop of the Global Headquarters Church of the Ministry, Faith Arena, and he leads the Global Bishopric of the Church. He is a member of the CGMI Council of Bishops, as well as its Board of Administration. In all these responsibilities, he is an inspirational leader who is dedicated to people development and societal transformation. He is a sought-after speaker for church events, leadership and inspirational conferences, and business and entrepreneurial seminars. Bishop Feb is also a business facilitator and instructor, teaching success strategies for Nigerian startups under the moniker Marketplace Feb. He is an author of 6 books, the loving husband of Reverend Laurie Wetson Idahosa, and father of 3, Feb Jr., Nathan, and Judah. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bishop Dr. Faith Emmanuel Benson Idahosa.
The topic I said again is, dear leader, this is how you build your personal brand online, because you have to start thinking that your brand is not just a product. It's not just water. It's not just sweets. Your brand is actually how people feel about you when they see you. So if I was to show you a picture of Adolf Hitler, some of you know what Adolf Hitler is, right? Okay, show a picture of Adolf Hitler. There are strong emotions that go with him, because he's not just a person, he's also a brand. Are we together so far? Okay, I'm talking to you about people who are leaders. They lead a certain group of people. They lead thought. They lead idea. If I were to show you a picture of that gentleman who is now in jail because he dresses as a woman, you will have some thoughts in your mind immediately, right? Okay, because some of you love him, some of you hate him, some of you are like, who's that? Okay, either way, the brand is not just who you are. The brand is how people feel about you and what thoughts enter your head when they see you. So as a leader, you have to have a certain amount of cachet that turns into a brand. Okay, so I want to talk to you today about how to build your brand online so that when we begin to see you, we think about something, we have emotions. Strong emotions are very, very good. They can be love, they can be hate. Either way, you can make money from it. People can hate you, and because they hate you, they pursue you. They'll tell you, we don't like you, but they're watching your posts. Every time you post, I hate this guy, stop talking. But they are talking. The more they talk about you online, the more Instagram or social media will push that post. Are we together so far? So that's what I'm talking about today. So I want you to begin to think about yourself as a leader who has something to say. So, dear leader, this is how you build your personal brand online, okay? All right, let's talk about this. I'm going to talk to you this morning about the why of your personal brand before I explain to you the how, okay? So let's talk about the why. Why is it important to have a personal brand? Why is it important for you to be that way if you are thinking about doing things online? I want you to start thinking about this. If you look at this picture here, you see, what do you see? You see lots of umbrellas, all of them one color, and there's one that stands out. What color is that? Okay, you are not colorblind. I'm glad for that. Okay, you're not colorblind. That's good. The reason why I said the yellow one is because it stands out. So think about this. If all of us in here right now, people just walk into here. They will look around and they will see black, white, different colors of clothing. But what they will notice among this room is they will see those 4 people in the blue shirts. Are we together, right? And so you will remember them when you leave the room. Or you remember when you leave this room, you remember that there's somebody in the front that has bright red hair. Okay? But everybody else you will probably forget just because we don't stand out. The point is this, that in every market and every place people are, everyone is doing the same things, they're doing that. So you have to find a way to stand out. And the market is extremely crowded. Now what I'm going to do for you is this. These slides are available to you free of charge. By the time we finish today, I'll send you a QR code. And you can actually just copy the QR code. You can download it free of charge. Or if you follow me online, I'll send you the link. Just comment under the link, under today's post about the roundtable. Just say brand, and I'll send you the PDF as well, okay? Free of charge, no charge to you. You're welcome. All right, so here's why that's important, okay? Now, the reason why it's important is this. One, you need to stand out. You need to stand out with your organization. If you're a leader, your organization will not be heard unless we know you. You need to stand out with your ideas. You need to stand out with your values. You need to stand out in a way that people begin to hear you. Now, your personal brand will give a soul to your company or to those things that you value. Because if you don't know your personal brand, then your value has no soul. Now, there are many people that have logos. Logos don't have much power. But when you put a face next to a logo, it suddenly has a lot of power. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean by that. Go to the next slide for a second. Look at these faces on the next slide. And tell me what you think about when you see them. Okay, let's start on this end. This first face, it's a face, right? Now, if I show you his logo, you love his logo, but you also know him. Don't you know him? Okay, now the day he died, we were all posting this picture. How many of you know him before? How many of you have even seen him? But the day he died, he put, Steve Jobs. Hey, the man don't die. Did you know him? But you felt something because he's had a strong personal brand. Are you with me? Okay. Next to him is this guy. Who's that guy? Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk is either loved or hated. There's no middle ground. Either you love him. Now, here's why. Elon Musk runs 5 companies. Twitter, Tesla, SpaceX, the Boring Company, Neuralink, that brain chip, monkey and brain, okay, whatever it is. Okay, he runs all of them. Now, he doesn't run all of them by himself. He has people that actually run them. In the same way that people say, Bishop Feb runs blah, blah. I don't run all of them. That's not a lie. I don't run them. But what I've done is I've hired very, very smart people who know more than I do. Okay? So if you want to be a leader, hire people who are smart. Then what you need to do, just be the face. Okay? Both of these people say the same thing. Hire smart people to run your companies and then let them run it. Okay? Hire smart people to run and do those things. Don't try to be behind them, okay? Don't try to push them and tell them what to do. Just give them direction, give them vision, and then let them do what they do best. Okay? Now, he has that again, okay? And you know his brand. This man here next to him is who? Y'all have know him. He's the richest man in... The same again. You know his face. You know his companies, right? But if I were to show you cement or spaghetti, it doesn't carry the same power as his face. Are you with me? So it's important if you're going to be a leader, your brand must be strong. You see, and that's why. These people I just told you here, okay, you can't see it on the bottom. It says on the bottom of it here, these faces represent the souls or the spirits of their organizations, okay? They represent the spirit of their brand. And the strength of their personal brands translates into income for their organizations. This last face here is a member of this church. Don't seem very much, but he's a member. Okay, who is he? Okay, he's here as well too. You don't even know the company that he runs, but you know him. But he runs several companies, all right? And those companies make money because of his face. Are we together? Okay, so here's what I'm talking to you about. You need to start thinking about your personal brand. Your personal brand gives strength to your company. So that whatever company you have, how many of you here run a business? How many of you here own a business? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, awesome, great. The stronger your personal brand, the stronger your business will be. So if you want to start thinking about your online presence, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is that you have, start to figure out about one or two of them. I'm going to give you some books that I want to recommend for you. There's a book called Key Person of Influence by a man called Daniel Priestley. If you can get a chance to read it. It's a great book. He also talks a lot about the personal brand as well too. There's a man whose name is Donald Miller. I have the links in the slides when you get them. He shares a lot of things as well too. Okay, so those are things that will help you in building your personal brand. Now let's keep going. One of the next things I was talking about, it's not on the slide here, but I'll talk to you about it as well too. That one of the greatest reasons to build a personal brand is that it builds trust in you as a leader. So the stronger your brand is, the more we trust you. When we trust you, we'll buy from you. So I want to start thinking it's time that people begin to know who you are, okay, and what those things are about. We'll spend money on you, we'll like different things about you, and we'll talk about that. I'll talk about that in a minute when I go on, okay? But let me move on to the next one. Here are 3 ways to stand out on the road to building your personal brand. This is what they call a product ecosystem. So some of you are in that product ecosystem. So you have an iPad, or you have an iPhone. I have Android, I have a Samsung. I'm loyal to my Samsung. So you are loyal to your iPhone, right? Okay, don't worry, I don't hate you. Okay, but here's my point. Now, because you are loyal to your iPhone, you will likely buy an iPad. And because you have an iPad, you want to connect it to your Apple Watch. And because you have an Apple Watch, you also want to connect those to your AirPods, okay? And because your AirPods are there, if you want to buy a computer, you won't go and buy a PC, will you? You'll probably buy a MacBook. See all of them, all of you MacBook. I don't like you guys. Okay. All right, so that's how it works. That's called a product ecosystem, all right? So here's what I'm talking to you about. Steve Jobs has a very, very strong brand. Okay, Steve Jobs had more followers than Apple. His successor, Tim Cook, has about 17 million followers. Apple has less than that. Because the brand of the person is stronger than the product. But it doesn't really matter to them because that person now that has a strong personality brings money to this brand. So here's what I'm trying to say. So for example, for you, the stronger your personal brand, the better your products will do. So let's say your brand is very strong. All right, then you go and do a book. It will translate. You have a movie, it will translate. Because people say, oh, I know her. She's in that movie. I will watch the movie not because I like the movie, but because I like. All right, okay. There's that. I don't know her name. I forgot her name. There's one Nigerian lady. I heard she was from Benin. Oh, she's from Benin. Okay. I watched the movie because I heard she was from Benin. Then I heard that she's in another movie. I watched that movie not because I like Nigerian movies like that so much, but I said, okay, she's a Benin girl. Benin girl, not Benin girl. She's a Benin girl. A Benin girl is in that movie. Let me watch the movie. So my point is that it's her brand that's carrying me to that ecosystem. Okay? How many of you heard of this book? What's the book called by this guy? Atomic Habits. Okay, Atomic Habits. Okay, it's by a man called James Clear. James Clear had a strong personal brand. What was he doing? He was sending out newsletters every week to people. Okay, and that newsletter group began to grow. So he had several thousand people that were reading his newsletters every week. And it was just very short. It's called 3-2-1. We give you 3 ideas, 2 quotes, and 1 action plan. That's it. Every week. Now here's the point of it. By the time he was done with that for about a year or 2, he wrote a book called Atomic Habits. His group was so large that as soon as the book came out, immediately it went to number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list. That's the power of a personal brand. Okay? So that man's a multi-millionaire because he has a strong personal brand. My point is that it will translate. So your books will do better, your movies will do better, your podcasts will do better, your company will do better. Anything that has your name on it will do better if your brand is strong. Okay? Which is why now we're looking at what we're doing here. We're saying, okay, this church is growing. Let's keep growing the brands of the pastors so that when we have an event, the brand does well. Stay with me for a minute. Are we together still? All right, let me talk to you about 3 ways to stand out on the road to building your personal brand. To stand out in building a personal brand, the first thing you should think about is who, okay? There's who, there's where, and there's what. All right, who? Who can you serve in the deepest way? The first thing you should think about is this: who can you serve in the deepest way? Now, some people say they're shy about posting about themselves, okay? That's okay. You don't have to post about yourself. But what I want you to do is think about this. The person you are now, is that person better than the person you were last year? Yes? How about the person you were 5 years ago? Okay. Now, how did you get from where you were 5 years ago to where you are now? What did you do? Transformation? Practice. New habits. Dedication. Calculation. Stemmucation. Evocation. Hey, but what else you do? Someone said, I prayed. Okay, yes, pray. I prayed and I prayed. Oh, Jesus answered me. I prayed. Whatever it is you did, okay, but here's my point. The person you are today is not the person you were then. But guess what? There are many people who are where you are, who are today where you used to be. And they want to know how you got there. So it's very simple. Tell them. How did I get there? I read these 5 books. I did this. I married this woman. I did that. I ate pounded yam. I ate doo-doo. Whatever it is you did, you can tell me how you got to where you are now. Pastor Uyi has a group called Mentoring with Uyiago. He's praising me. Let me praise him as well, too. All the banks in Nigeria are pursuing this man right now. Okay, they're giving him awards and different things. Now, how did he get there? He's just sharing those things with a few guys, and they are learning. Please go and meet him afterwards. Tell him you want to be in his mentoring group, okay? He will help you. They even chop akara and owo in that group. But my point is this. The best person you can serve is the person you were 5 years ago. So just think about that. Instead of chasing everybody and say, okay, just post anything anyhow, think about the person you used to be and think, that's who I want to serve, okay? So who can you serve in the deepest way? The person you were 5 years ago. What audience are you equipped to reach? Ask yourself, what do I know? All right? There's a saying that there's at least 10 people in this room right now, 10 of them in this room, okay, who woke up this morning asking a question that you know the answer to. Do you believe that? Are you sure? Okay, so you have a camera there, and you do very well with your cameras. There are at least 10 people in this room that want to know how to get to where you are. Is there anybody that wants to know how to carry a camera here? Anybody here? Can I see your hand? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That want to know, that's your audience right there. That's 10 people. Are you with me, okay? If I was to ask Honorable, how did he get to where he is right now? Who wants to be like him? All of our hands will go up. Okay, my point is very, very simple. If you pick a platform, if it's LinkedIn, whatever it is, and you want to build your brand, most of us are obsessed with trying to get followers. I need to have 100 followers, 2,000 followers. But the point is not so many followers that you need. You want people who actually are your customers. Because here's how the algorithm works. It will show your product to 10% of those people who are following you. That's it. Okay, so that's not bad. But if I have people who wake up every single day going to my page to look for what do I have to say today, it will go up. And I decided I want to now sell to them. I will do well. Here's my point. I just showed you just now very, very simply how in this room there are at least 10 people that woke up today wanting to know what you know without stress. So start thinking. Every time you post, serve them. Okay, what else you want to do? Can you own mental real estate? Meaning that in my mind, you must own a piece. Okay? Somewhere in my mind should own something. If I was to tell you that, okay, you want to talk about relationships online, you probably think about Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo. Okay, Pastor Kingsley is a good friend of mine. And about 4 or 5 years ago, before COVID, he had less than 30,000 followers. He was posting everything. Then he just picked one subject. He was posting about that, about that, about that, about that, about that. And in a very, very short time, he has how many followers now? Several millions. Are you following where I'm going? Because he has picked one. He was posting one topic, which leads me to a point that you don't have to be an expert on everything. Just pick one. Niche down. There's a saying that goes that the riches are in the niches. N-I-T-C-H-E, niche. Pick a niche, okay? You do that, it'll do well. And that works very well for TikTok. TikTok will blow you up if you have a niche. If you have everything else, it won't go. Okay. So own some mental real estate, which means that in my head, you should own something. Okay, what else? It says, what solution can people associate with you? I have another teaching called, What is Your Problem? And it talks about what problem can you solve. I'll send that to you guys as well, so you can please distribute that as well too, okay? My only request is if you get anything from me, it's free. Please give somebody else free, okay? Can you do that for me? All right, thank you very much. So I'll send that to you as well too, okay? So if you can find a solution to something, and tell us about it. It will help us. Now, I always tell people this. Problems come in clusters, which means that there's a cluster of people, okay? So if on this street, one person has a problem with NEPA, what can you guarantee me? And I can sell fuel to Pastor Chris. He has a problem with NEPA. What can you guarantee me about his street? What can you tell me about Pastor Chris's street? If he has a problem with NEPA, who else has a problem with NEPA? Everyone else on that street has a problem. So if I can solve it for him, there's a cluster of people that have the exact same problem. So stop trying to advertise to everybody. Just find the people in his cluster. When that street is finished, I promise you, in the next street, there's the same problem as well too. So find that and it will help you as well too, okay? So own a category in our minds. It will help you build your personal brand, okay? Next slide, please. Scott McCain says, mind share precedes market share. Okay, mind share, which means that if I can own a part of your mind and I have mind share with you, stop chasing market share. Chase mind share. Where in your mind can I be? Because everyone in their mind has a list of things that they think about. If I have a problem with something, I have a list of things I can think about. Okay, these are people that will solve it. Are you following where I'm going? Okay. Okay. So mind share precedes market share. Own mind share, and it will help you. So he says, Rory Vaden says, we trust people we see. We trust people that we learn from, and we trust people that we know intimate details about. Okay. This is why you trust actors that you've never met in your life, but you trust them. So if an actor comes, that's why you see people that sell Ariel soap. We're going to get an actor. Don't know the guy. Does he even use the soap? We don't know. But because he says, I use this soap, you trust him. Now, some years ago, BlackBerry, you remember BlackBerry? BlackBerry hired Alicia Keys to be their spokesperson, to say, I love BlackBerry. So one day she went on Twitter and she posted, I love BlackBerry. On the bottom note, they always say, sent from my iPhone. And it's ruined their whole product because even if we're paying to say we trust you, don't even use the product. They killed their product. Okay. But we trust what we see because we see how we like her, we trust her. So the more we see you online, the more we see you doing different things, we're going to trust you. Okay? We learn things from you, so we begin to trust you as well too. All right, next one is the what. I've talked to you about the who. The next one is the what. Okay? So for what should you post about? Make a list of questions that you think your audience has. Okay, so you're a photographer. Make a list of questions that you think people have. Just think of it in your mind. Or ask them, what questions do you have about photography? Then go online tomorrow and start posting. Do a short 1-minute reel about it. Talk about this, talk about that. What will happen is this. They will share with somebody else. As they share, when they share, you get known. Are we together? Okay? This is the reason why pastors do so well, because they come and just pray about you. Okay, I'm praying for you right now that everybody in your village that wants to kill you will die this morning. You say amen. I'm not saying to Pastor Chris, please, those people in your village are pursuing you. Hear this prayer. He will say amen. Then send somebody else as well. So that's how it goes around. Are we together? But we don't believe in that, village people. We are the head of principalities and power. We. Because Christ is the head of them and Christ lives in me. That's another story. This is back. Let's talk business, okay? Okay, so teach what you know, okay? It's on there as well, too. I told you that someone is praying to find the answers to the things which you know and you do every day. That's how you build your brand. Be the expert in one thing. Okay, next slide. I'll talk to you about the 3 E's. If you saw my post for the roundtable, I talked about the 3 E's. Okay, 3 E's. Every time you post, you should do one of 3 things. You should either educate or entertain or encourage. Educate. People that come here today. Akpoko doctor. What does he do every time? No, it's not here. I'm pointing to the screen, sorry. He educates you, okay? All right, so every time you go to his page, you say, I want to learn something today. He educates you. So you begin to learn from him, so you trust him, okay? Mr. Macaroni is coming today. What does he do? He entertains. So when you want to laugh, you go there and you laugh, right? Okay? You like that. So you go to his page. Let's see the Elenu. Same thing again, entertains us. I remember that one post he did about how the Naira is going up every 5 seconds. You remember the post? It's still in my mind. We thought it was stupid. It was joking. It came to pass in Nigeria. Okay. They do that. So they entertain you. And we like them because those things are happening to them. Okay, last one is you must encourage or edify. Pastor Chris always edifies. He's a master encourager. If I call him, he will encourage me. So if I'm feeling down, Pastor Chris, how are you doing today? I want him to encourage me, that's what I want. No, I don't want to know how he's doing. I want him to encourage me. He will encourage me, say, Bishop, you're doing those kind of things. So you search for these people, don't you? Okay, now my point is this. So if you, for example, for the man who's always educating, okay, if you see on YouTube, in the predictor, you see heart monitors being sold by Mr. A, Akpoko Doctor, and Mr. C. Which one will you likely just go to, click on first? Because you know him? Don't know him, but you've seen him a lot. You've heard him a lot. So you just naturally just pick him. The same thing with you as well too, okay? If we've seen you, we can deep dive into your content, we will look for you, and we'll trust you. So the point I was saying again is that it will help your brand if we trust you, okay? So educate, entertain, and encourage. Next slide. The last one is when. How often should you post? What should you be doing when you're posting to build your personal brand? You should post as much as possible, okay? The saying goes like this: prolific is better than perfect. So many of us are trying to post perfect posts, perfect lighting, perfect makeup, perfect everything. That would have been okay some time back, but today now people just want to just see you, the real you. They don't really care so much. Perfect is nice, but prolific is better. If I see that I like one topic you just talked about, I will go to your page and I will search for the same topic. If I cannot find more, I'll think, oh, you were just a one-hit wonder. That's why I see people like they go viral for one post. The next one is just gone, nothing else again. We don't go back because they don't have more content. What people want is this: if you can have good content for one thing, they will search for you again. They'll look for you on YouTube, look for you on Twitter, look for you on Instagram, look for you somewhere else. So try to build some content so that I can let me give you a guideline, 7 hours. It must not be 7 hours at once, but 7 hours over different times. So we do 1 minute here, 1 minute here, 1 minute here. By the time you have 7 hours of content in different places, we will trust you, we'll buy from you. You will tell us jump, we will jump. Are we together? Build your personal brand. Then it says here, post, publish, promote. Post, publish, promote. Post it, publish it, promote it. Post it, publish it, promote it. The more content you have out there, the better it is. That's the reason why whenever I go to any seminar, I post my content. I'll tell you it's free of charge to use. I'll tell you, please share with somebody else. So that it's just out there, no problem. When you see it, someone, who's that? Feb Idahosa. Oh, that's the person. Okay, I know him from somewhere. Don't know Michelle, but you have seen my content, and you cannot trust me. How many of you here know Archbishop Idahosa? Okay, most of you never met him because he died before you were born. But you will see his posts online. You will hear Bishop David Oyedepo talk about him. You will hear Pastor Chris Oyakhilome talk about him. You will hear everyone talking about him. Who is this Idahosa? Because he affected so many lives. His personal brand was strong in a day when there was no social media. Clap if you want to clap. Clap. But the point is simply that. Because he was pushing one thing, the gospel. In different ways, different styles, different ways. He would do it in America one way, do it in Nigeria one way. You would laugh, you would cry, you would do different things. But was preaching one message. And that's how people got to know him. So now he's been dead for 26 years and we still know him. That's powerful. I'm telling you that because you can be the same way. I have a slide which is not here, but it's in the final one. That the depth of your impact is better than the width of your reach. I said again, the depth of your impact is better than the width of your reach. So go deep.